So if you're trying to make your camera look like this, I'm about to show you guys the properties of how to do this, and I'm not using any filters. Hey, what's going on, everybody? If you watch this video, it's clear you're trying to change your webcam to make it look like a DSLR camera. You have a Logitech C922 like myself, or some type of Logitech camera, or some Brio, or whatever the case may be, and you're trying to figure out why it's not getting the pop that you're looking for. Every time you change your camera in terms of when you sit up or different things like that, your auto white balance changes, everything changes, and it just doesn't look really flush like it should. So the process is actually very simple how to make your camera do this, no matter if you get close to your camera, if you're showing something on camera, like if I'm showing my phone or I'm showing my controller, being able to show certain things, and it looks like I'm using a DSLR camera. I'm about to show you guys the settings on how to do that properly. So real quickly, I'm gonna hop over here and then I'm gonna open up my properties, and we're actually gonna reset my camera. So essentially what you're gonna wanna do is in your OBS or settings, and you could actually just do this on the webcam app, or it's just better to use it on your streaming or recording platform. So just bring it over, click the camera, select properties, and then boom, you're gonna have your properties. I'm gonna get this out of the way. This doesn't look crazy. Once you select properties, you can hit configure video, and then you're going to be able to see all this information. So I'm going to reset everything back to default with what you were just looking at earlier, and then we're going to actually flow through this right now. So here I have my properties. It comes like this. If you have a Logitech C922, it's going to look like this. If you have a different camera, it might look a little bit different, but for the most part, your properties should be similar. Ultimately, you're gonna come to camera control and turn off low light compensation. If you have really good lighting, you can take this off. If your lighting was extremely low, then you might wanna have on low light compensation, which would, you see how it already makes it brighter? That's what low light compensation will do for you. But if you have proper lighting and you don't need any, like, you know, extra filter or layer from the camera to make it do more work, this is what you're gonna want to do. And then I zoom in my camera so I can actually be front and center and it doesn't look like I'm wide from my camera. So I just zoom in all the way. I think it maxes out at like 100 and something, 115. I just max it, doesn't matter. Once you get to a certain point, it'll just max out. After you do that, it's up to you if you want to take off exposure. I keep it on because I like to bring things to the camera a lot. So that's why I keep my exposure, but you can definitely take that off. Mess around with it, figure out what works for you. I'm just giving you my settings specifically. Typically auto balance, white balance is actually on. So see how I just changed colors essentially. White balance, the auto white balance is a little bit fishy. So if I step out of my camera focus, I'm gonna become a little bit more bluer. If I come in closer, I'm actually gonna probably change color right now as well. So instead of having it do all that work, I wanna find the most natural color that I am. And that works for me. So the lower you go, the bluer you're gonna get. Higher you go, the redder you're gonna get. So if you're looking for that more sun, like warm look, that's the higher you wanna go. Looking for that cool filter, the lower you go. I go a little bit high, go around 4600, around the 44 to 4600 is where you wanna go. That's more of a natural look. Typically I can use like your camera, iPhone camera or something to really see what you look like and bring it up to your webcam and make proper adjustments. And then to get that pop sharpness that I have, I don't put it all the way up, because if you do this, you actually become really grainy. And I can show you guys, like, I look very grainy right now. It's not what I'm looking for in front of my camera. So what you really want to have it do is just get it to a point, and I'm going to bring it back to close so you can just see. You want to get it to a point where you start to notice it getting sharper. Not too much, like this is too much. And I go around like 155 or 160, between 160 and 155, all depending on the day or what I'm wearing. And that's gonna give you some sharpness as if you have like a DSLR camera. Then the next step that I'm actually gonna take is actually bringing down my brightness just a tad bit, around 105 to 100. And now I'm not too bright, but it's actually giving me that proper look that I'm looking for. And the last thing I adjust is my saturation, which is the color that I'm gonna have. And based off of that, you can go high and get a lot of color, go low and be black and white. And I go right in between around 165, and this gives me the exact color that I'm looking for. And this is the most natural look to me that I have for my camera. As you can see, looks like I'm using like a DSLR camera. You guys can notice that that's what it kind of looks like. And this is the pop that you see. So instead of me having that whole crazy look, boom. And this is how my camera, a webcam, looks like a DSLR camera right there. And that's it. And then I just hit OK, hit OK. There's a few other things that you can adjust. You can take a look at my settings that I have for my OBS. I don't really change too much of like the color range. The color range can adjust things and it looks different. Keep mine right at REC 601 is what I use for my color range. Keep it on high FPS. Format is the MJPEG and not the YUI2. And that, my friend, and I put it on limited, not full. Full is actually different, believe it or not. So I put it on limited or partials, which you're probably gonna have. And this is exactly the color that I'm looking for out of my camera. So once you do that, you hit OK. And here you have a full look out of a webcam and not a DSLR camera. So if you're looking to get the most out of your dollar using a webcam, these are the properties that you needed to use. I'm not using any filters or anything behind the scenes. It's just simply the properties of the camera that makes it look like this. If you're looking for more tutorials, make sure that you subscribe to my tutorial page, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.